This is Mini Karma here, and today we got a request to uh, have direction on how to draw bodies, mainly, both for beginners and for more advanced people. So we're gonna start from what I find it the base. Disclaimer, because it's not because how I understand it and how I do it that it will work for you. It's tips and advice and show a way how to do it. So, yeah, there is that. So often we will see, how could I say? Well, first you could start with a stickman. Yes, you can start with drawing a stickman, but it will develop from here. For an example, here we have a shape of a stickman and we want to work on it to make it work. You have to remember the circle is the head, so it's pretty much an oval that you're gonna shape into, because you can go cut in it to get the head shape you want. A little square for the neck. The chest area, the mainly the torso with the pelvis is, to me, it's in 3 bit. First there's a circle because it's the main the chest. Then you have a square attached to it. That is pretty much the stomach. And stomach, English. And then another circle that do the hips, pelvis, and all that. Most of them are not for the front view. You can do a bowl, kind of like an underwear. It's make it easier for the hip bones, and then you have the pelvis, and then it's easier to make legs there that will be attached to it. But we go for simplicity right now because it is the basic. Technically, for the torso, you could go also for a rectangle that you cut in 3 to develop to make it your shape, your body shape. But I find it easier to do 2 circles with a square because it is curved, because of the rib cage. Yes, it's a rib cage. For the hips, because it's curved, the chest that is curved, but the stomach in between them is most of them not straight unless it is curving to follow the shape of everywhere else, So there's that. After that, you have the arms. Again, you put circles for the shoulders, and afterwards it's rectangle, circle, rectangle, circle, with other rectangles to make the end. I'm not gonna go into the details of the end because it will take a whole video to just work on that. But you get the idea of it. Of course, then most people forget it's that because it is a joint, the forearms get bigger before going smaller for the wrist, with the arm going a bit bigger near the shoulder. So it is like a trapezoid or something. Or maybe you could draw a triangle with the circle. It doesn't show much of the difference. I mean, it's an alternative. Go away, arrow. So then you will mimic the same process, and anytime that I draw a rectangle, most of them not, it's a bone, and if it's a bone, it doesn't curve unless you're planning to make it a break, and then that's a whole nother story. And circle, most of them do not want to draw them is because I know they can move and rotate. They have a flexibility to them. Drag, it's rotating around itself, so being a square, it doesn't influence things much. it's following the shape of, oh, my head going that way, but the torso going that way, so the neck is gonna curve like that. Totally good with sketches to explain my reasoning. Yay! After that, the pelvis. Of course, the pelvis, there's a main difference to know. For the males, you have big hip bones that go pointing to the pelvis, and then it's just mainly legs for, not for days, but it's the legs that going there, so it's a big curve, and then it's pretty much straight. And if we take a female, however, you have a lumps, I guess, a mass before the pelvic, and then it's the hip bone. The hip bone is, I will do the sketch to better explain it. So if I go with my ball underwear thing, you have the torso, you have a mass of flesh that go here, and then you have another mass of flesh that goes from here to follow, because the bones from the pelvis is at an angle. It's not straight down, it is slightly arched. So because there's a point that's going that way, it's going on a curve. Yeah. So then you have lumps, and then the hips. Yeah, the females are most often not more round than a male. So the difference between male and female, when I draw a female, I use more circles often not complete to a male, that if I do his shape is mostly square-ish. Of course there's the fact that technically there's thick boy twos and all that, but the shape, it's not for the same purpose the body was made. For the female, especially around the hips area, is to be able to have a lot of store mass for the babies and the such. So there's a baby that can grow here. And males are not, they don't have need for all that packaging. No, not packaging, because all that fluffiness, I guess. They don't need that, so they're much more bony, and it's for technically strength that they need all that. So, anyways, so you do circle within if you do a basic shape anyway. With the underwear, it's going to come along on its own towards the joints, and it's up also doing hips if you need them. And remember, I'm basing all of that on the position of a stickman, because the stickman, they have the shoulders, they have their chest, but it's mainly the skeleton for it. An idea of where to put things. You can work on a stickman like I'm doing right now. Sure, you have to adapt because it's not made for that technically, but so you have a part of the leg where the femur is, then you have the knee, and then what I've realized more often than not is that where the tibia is, the leg is largely arched. It's not a straight leg. It have a curve in it. Of course, I'm exaggerating it for the idea of it, but I mean, you have the legs, then you have a curve because of the calf, and then it goes slightly inside for make it a curve. If you look into the mirror, you see the front side of your leg, you will see it. Then you have the ankle, and then you have the feet. You can do a square with a little extra to make it in French it's talon, but I don't know if English for that is the same. Anyway, the sole of your feet, and then toes. Fun fact, toes most often not go that way. on the outside, the toes are much shorter than the inside, so you can take that into account too, in order to make your feet. And the feet have a slight flexibility that is mainly because of the toe. So I mean, when you're on tiptoes, you have your toes here and the foot that arch. Yeah, it's the toes that made the shape of the feet, because else it's all a big block of Lego. It doesn't move. You can just clip on it. So technically there's a body. Sure, it's an half body because I should do the other pieces. But there's that. So if we go with the logic of we can work with a stickman, you want to make your stickman doing, haha, I'm a hero, and I have a leg like that and like that. That one. Well, you have the chest, you have the belly, you have the hips, you have the joint, first leg, second leg, feet, shoulders, arm, forearm. Of course, right now I'm doing the sketch very quickly to show you how it is done. I haven't even spoken yet of proportion, did I? No. I'll go back to the previous sketch for that. And then you have the head. I am Marty. What the neck? Of course, there we go. We have a human being, of course, very disproportionate and very skinny, but it worked for the purpose of it. So if we were to go back here, proportion. Normally, if you tend to go for realism, you do have to go for hate head. What do I mean by that? Hate head is the size of your head, the length. You're supposed to have that 8 time in your body, and about half of it is actually the legs. Yes, you have the legs for days, everyone. But often enough, if you go in more anime style, which it's not cartoonish, because cartoon and comic, you could go almost like style and like, that's a cartoon. You don't have to respect any sizing. But often not, animes follow the 7 head rule, meaning the head is a lot bigger for the rest of the body in proportion, making it look cuter. For the fun of it, I'll try to measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So even then I don't follow realism. I mean, if you watch anything I do, I mostly do monsters nowadays, so that are human looking. They have they are humanoid, meaning they have a body shape similar to a human. But a few tips I know. First, your arms. The end of the hands, meaning the tip of your longest finger, it should go mid-thing. So you have your arms, and you have your end. And it's an ear. Like I said, most often than not, for the legs, from about the belly and all that, it is half the height of your character. Of course, I'm saying in standard and common, and it is the Da Vinci way. Yay! If we follow the rules, you know. But what is fun with drawings and about life really is that it doesn't work that way. You can have somebody that have a really big body and they have small legs. It's not even half, you know? They can have small legs and thus big arms. Or you could have the skinny little shit that look like more twigs. Like, really. They're just... Their brother is Slenderman. Like, you have... And then again... Yeah, sure, I'm drawing fast. I'm not really caring the result because I'm not going to publish that, just a video. Then, of course, you have, like the previous drawing, the body is mainly in a square, you know. But real life is not like that. You can have somebody with big shoulders, you know, triangle, especially for males that tend to more have a body type like that. The shoulders are much more wider than their hips. Most of them are not for the male. Always exception to the rules. So, often not with big arms that go with it for the shoulder. And then skinny legs. You know. Yes, I do not have a care in the world. And then you have the opposite. You have somebody with pear shape, more like, meaning them hips. So the shoulders are much more they're less wide than the hips. Just more than not have dicks for days, as we call it, big legs, and then more than the small arms. Of course, because if somebody have body weight, if they're heavier, chubby and all that, of course everything will look bigger because you have the bare bones, you have the body, but then it go cover it. Also, note aside, fats put in layer, but it doesn't spread itself evenly. So let's say you have 2 legs. Yeah, those are legs. Yes. Well, one leg could be a bit bigger than the other. Even more in your drawing, you're not perfect. But even more, on the leg itself, sometimes there's dips because, of course, maybe not as obvious as that, but there's small dips because the fat is putting itself in layers. So that means there's all in it, and the skin do that. Oh boy, I'm covering a lot more than I thought I would. Also, a new tip I've seen pass around that I've tried a little bit because I've seen it like yesterday or the day before is where the eyes end in the middle face. You do a curve, and it's allow you to have about the same side of eyes, like middle of the face, so you have a range on where to put the eyes so it doesn't get like that. Other tips. Well, more defined stuff. Everything is disconstructible from basic shapes. I mean, from all you saw from before, I'm not using... I mean, I make bodies and it's basic shapes. Triangles, circles, square, rectangles, and stuff like that. You can make a body out of it. You know, when you are building castle and such with blocks, it's the same thing. You are building your characters. And also there are different traits that make it seem... that give an impression to a character than another. Example for the face. If somebody have a more triangular shaped head, they seem more threatening because it is sharp. sharper edge with eyes that are sharps. You know, like that it seemed more a bad guy than if I were to put him with a chubby face. Like that, like he seemed already more friendly. Let's go with the next shape. Round. Round is friendly. Round is fluff. Round is friend. That's pretty the basic of the rule. And then you have square. Squarish is basically strength, because it's a stable form. Yes, I read that in the book. I do read. Thank you very much. But that's the basic idea of it. So if you want somebody who would have a shabby face, let's say, because they're friendly, but then you go put a body in a triangle shape, all twigs and such. Yes, the face may be friendly, but all the rest of the body is like contradiction, and it might make a interesting character. What is fun is playing with shapes, because there's so many body types. You know, Google exists. Use for that for body type, because yes, there's an apple, there's beer, inverse beer, hourglass, like triangles. Anything you want to do with your character, you probably could do it. Right. And yes, I must have not draw tights in circles because it's a case, and thin gap is almost a legend, so it make it easier for me afterwards to when I try to be like, well, I'm supposed to line this. It's easier for me to see the shapes. Also, another trick I do when I draw metal, let's say I'm drawing a body type, you can go back, erase in to define better what shape do you want, and it also help if you're drawing an eye like that. Let's just tick, but I like the shape. You just go erase it inside it, and there you go. You have a cute eyes. Yes, I'm having fun. So that's all I can think of for right now. At worst come to worst, I can do another video, I guess, if y'all wanna. So thanks for watching, and catch you later.